Russia mounts surprise assault on northern Ukraine in most serious cross-border offensive in 2 years. Russian forces have made 2 cross-border assaults inside northern Ukraine, according to information from Ukrainian sources and officials, in what President Volodymyr Zelensky is calling a new wave of counteroffensive actions by Russia. In the first development, Russian soldiers penetrated at least 1 kilometer towards the town of Vovchansk, a Ukrainian military source told CNN. The aim, the source said, was to get 10 kilometers deep and create a buffer zone at the border to secure Russian territory from feeling the war. In an official statement, Ukraine's defense ministry said Russian soldiers supported by armored vehicles had moved across the border at about 5 a.m. Friday, following a day of stepped-up attacks on the border area with guided aerial bombs and artillery. The statement added that Ukrainian reserve units had been deployed to strengthen defenses in the area. On Saturday, local authorities said more than 20 air glide kyiv bombs had been launched at the town and its surrounding settlements. The region's governor Ola Syniehubov said 2 civilians were killed when the bombs hit private houses. A second Ukrainian source with direct knowledge of frontline developments told CNN that Russian forces had also penetrated 5 kilometers inside Ukraine towards the village of Krasna, which lies about 75 kilometers along the border, west of Vovchansk. The source said the Russian ground assault towards Krasna was carried out by 4 Russian battalions, about 2,000 men. Ukrainian officials have not given much information about the second Russian push, though Ukraine's general staff, in its Friday evening update, did note Russian attacks in the area of Krasna and 2 neighboring villages. It is also noteworthy that Deep State Map, a Ukrainian monitoring group which updates frontline developments daily, showed 4 villages next to each other, including Krasna, in the gray area, representing territory currently contested rather than under full Ukrainian control. Deep State Map also noted on its Telegram channel that the number of Russian forces deployed in the 2 cross-border pushes was not enough for a deeper advance into Ukrainian territory, but it also drew attention to the fact Moscow has many more troops positioned along the border, estimated to be around 40,000. Asked about developments, Zelensky did not downplay their seriousness but said Ukraine's military had been expecting such a move. Russia launched a new wave of counteroffensive actions in northern Kharkiv region. Ukraine met them there with our troops, brigades and artillery, he told reporters early Friday afternoon. But our military and military command were aware of this and anticipated their forces to meet the enemy with fire. Now there is a fierce battle in this area. I think as of now we have stopped the enemy with artillery fire, Zelensky said in an address Saturday evening local time. Zelensky said Ukraine was strengthening our positions and adding forces to the Kharkiv region. Residents of border villages have been told to evacuate by authorities. National Police posted photos and a video on social media showing officers helping people pack their belongings into police vehicles ahead of being driven to safer locations. A total of 1,775 people have so far been evacuated from Kharkiv region. A day after Russia's surprise assault, the head of the region's military administration said Saturday. The developments mark the most serious cross-border ground assault by Russia since Ukraine recaptured the northern Kharkiv region in the late summer of 2022. After it was first taken by Russia in the opening weeks of its full-scale invasion. It also comes after several months of increased Russian air attacks on the city of Kharkiv, which have knocked out all the city's power-generating capacity, as well as its substations. Governor Syniehubov insisted the latest Russian ground assaults did not put the city, which lies just 30 kilometers south from the Russian border, under heightened risk. The enemy group does not pose a threat to Kharkiv city, its forces are only enough for provocations in the northern direction. Analysts note that if Russian forces were able to push much further south, that could bring the northern edge of the city within range of Russian artillery, which can fire about 20 kilometers.